Shan Yao Dioscorea Yam is a chi tonic. It's a spleen chi tonic. It's also a spleen yin tonic. And it's also a kidney yin tonic. And it's also an astringent. Now, it doesn't do all these things separately. They're not separate functions. It's doing this all at the same time. It's really one function that, in order to describe it, we break it down into these different qualities, but it's integral. When we say that something is a spleen chi tonic, that could mean so many different things. All that it means to say that something is a spleen chi tonic is that the result is that the spleen is functioning better. That's all that means. The spleen is a chi producing organ. So if you help the spleen to function better, you have a chi tonic because more chi is produced now. And so there are many different spleen chi tonics, all doing very different things that result in the spleen chi being greater because there's greater efficiency and function of the organ. So it's really important if somebody's spleen chi deficient, not to just say, okay, they need a spleen chi tonic. It's not like adding gas to a car, You have to say, what is the function that's not happening here so that we can support that function? Like, for instance, the Baiju Atractylodes, which was supporting the function of chi production by transforming damp. Here, with Shan Yao Dioscorea Yam, we have something that's pretty much the opposite, which is that we are supporting the spleen's capacity to hold still and hold stillness. And in the holding still and holding stillness, there is a deepening of yin, a deepening of silence, and a deepening of the digestive system and the mind's ability to have something like the soak cycle in the washing machine. Digestion needs a soak cycle. This is why eating on the run and then continuing to run often leads to some difficulties, malnourishment among them, because we actually need a soak cycle. We actually need a few soak cycles. We need times and places in the digestive system when we hold still. Holding still is very different than collapsing like damp, wet laundry still. Holding still is incredibly different than bogging down. If we have bogging down, we're transforming damp. If we're needing to help somebody's mind and stomach and intestines hold still, that chi tonic aspect, that's the holding. A lot of meditators know about this, that there's this deep, deep silence that one can fall into. And then one can sit for a very long time. But at the beginning, it's not that easy. We actually need to invoke a little bit of chi. We have to hold. It's an intention. That's the yi again of the spleen. We need to invoke an actual intention of holding still. And through that holding, yin accumulates, stillness accumulates, silence accumulates. things that need some time and some silence and some unproductivity to kind of come apart in the dark. Have that chance in the dark and in the silence. We try to give examples. I mean, it's clear when we're speaking about physical levels of digestion, some things need to soak in order to break down and release their nutrients. If you got it on a production line and everything's moving too quickly, it's not going to open and release its nutrients. Shh. Do nothing. That's the spirit of Shan Yao. Do nothing, and nourishment will open for you. It's the same with the mind and with the digestion of our life. There's so many events of our lives that we are not going to receive the nourishment if we're on to the next thing, trying to figure out, like, okay, wait, what is it? It's like, shh. Hold still until you don't need to be held still anymore. You're just sitting with what happened, sitting with your life, sitting with what the last 3 years have been about, sitting with whatever it is that came in that is not currently feeling like nourishment, but may actually be feeling like a place where we don't even know what integrity would mean. What is this that happened? I don't know how to be with it. And we can try to figure it out, right? The like the mind is trying to digest it and trying to figure it out. Like I'm in analysis. I'm like, Shan Yao helps us to just go into the silence with it, which takes faith. Shan Yao increases faith. The faithfulness of the spleen and the faith of the kidney. I can do nothing, and there will be transformation. In fact, sometimes that's what it takes for something to let go and unlock its nutrient, is that I set my intention to do nothing, just sit with it.